Hello, and welcome to Socially Holistic Podcast. Socially Holistic helps coaches and holistic entrepreneurs and women in heart-centered businesses make sense of social media so they can build their own online network and get more clients. As a heart-centered business owner, you do amazing work. Holly's mission in life is to help you help more people. Help us help more women in business with a 5-star review of this podcast. Please leave one today over at iTunes. The more women who find out about this podcast, the more heart-centered businesses will be successful. Thank you.
Before we get into this week's episode, I'm beyond thrilled to tell you that the Socially Holistic Podcast has its first ever sponsor. I'm especially excited because our sponsor for the month of January is the fabulous Tanya Gardner from the very first episode of the Socially Holistic Podcast. I absolutely love the work that Tanya does, and I'm so happy that she's our first sponsor. If you're worried that your webpage copy isn't quite as clear and powerful as you'd like it to be, Tanya from Crystal Clarity Copywriting has a free gift for you. Make Your Webpage Crystal Clear is a carefully chosen collection of 12 simple, easy-to-implement tips. Each tip is designed to stop you making some of the most common mistakes that drive readers away from your website. Get the Make Your Webpage Crystal Clear guide completely free today by going to bit.ly/clear web page. That's bit.ly.com/clear web page. Thank you. Hello and welcome to the Socially Holistic Podcast, episode 24. This is your host, Holly Wharton, and I'm here with today's very special guest, Tia Johnson, from the Violet Sanctuary Spa. Tia is a dream coach and intuitive healer. So welcome, Tia.
Thank you so much, Holly.
It's lovely to have you here. I checked out your website. I don't even remember when I first saw it, but I just thought, I just love the concept of this, so I must have her on the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, the concept of the website, it really just grew on its own. My original plan was to have a building in my hometown. I'm in Pennsylvania in the States. But when I started the Facebook page, I noticed that a majority of the people who were following me were actually outside of the United States. Oh. So I figured, how can I make my business really across the board until I actually get the building that I want, and also meet the needs of the people who are outside the U.S. And so I thought, you know what, let's make this an online spa. And that's the direction I'm taking the website. So there are going to be more interactive applications soon.
Oh, I love that. So why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about your background?
Sure. Yeah. So I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I wasn't always as an intuitive or a conscious and intuitive. Growing up as a kid, I noticed things that not noticed things, but I saw angels. I didn't know they were angels. That's clairvoyancy, and I was able to know things ahead of time. And I never thought of it as anything spectacular. I really thought that people just knew things and felt things and so forth. So growing up, my life was just, I guess people want to say regular. I don't know what that means nowadays. But yeah, nothing was out the ordinary to me. But what the turnaround was when my grandmother passed away, and I talk about it in the intro of my book. My grandmother passed away, and it was just like, bam, as if someone just ripped the spine from me. I didn't know what to do. And then about a year and a half afterwards, my papa passed away. So that was a 1-2 punch for me, and I went through a healing process, roughly 2-year healing process. And as a result, the Violet Sanctuary Spa came to be. So my background is really just all that happened up to 2002 when I started the Violet Sanctuary Spa. It's amazing looking back because my grandmother just understood the spiritual gifts. I was always into dreams, and she was into dreams and numbers. And when she passed away, and then my papa passed away, I received a dream. And that kind of triggered everything, got everything in motion.
Funny how that happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the Violet Sanctuary Spa is an online healing oasis. I absolutely love that image. And it's you also describe it as an online holistic spa. So tell us a little bit more about your journey. You said that you originally wanted to do kind of a brick and mortar offline spa, and then it shifted to being online. Tell us a little bit about how that's changed over the years since you first started it up.
Oh, sure. So the website didn't look the way it looks now. For starters. Yeah. So what I did was I added more imagery to the website, and I still have the drawings. So for the brick and mortar, that's going to happen eventually. But on the website, there are quizzes that will help you to get more into yourself. Because in the spa, you're really focusing on you, the masseuse or whomever is working on you. They're focusing on you. They want to make sure that you have this experience, and that's what I'm going for on the website for my tribe to go in there and have an experience. And one of the things that I do to promote that experience is to use the color violet. So right from the beginning, it's just bam. It's a really nice, cool, comfortable color. It's one of those colors that just trigger your intuition. And then what's going to be another trait of the website is that people are going to be able to click on a few icons and do a little bit of self-discovery. So it's going to be layered one after the other, but really dedicated to that person having an experience, a journey on the website.
I like that. So one of the things that you offer is dream coaching, and that really kind of piqued my interest when I saw that. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you do as far as dream coaching?
Sure, I love dreams. I was hoping you would get to that. I mean, I'm an angel therapist, but I love dreams. So I am a Gateway Dreaming coach certified by Hay House author Denise Lynn. As a dream coach, I go beyond the dream interpretation process. So, for example, you would say, T, I had a dream that I was flying on a phoenix. What does that mean? I don't just say, oh, you're going through a sense of rebirth. I ask you, well, what were you doing before you went to sleep? What does your sleeping arrangement look like? Sometimes people pass out on the couch or at work. I ask them, what does a color mean to you? I use the free association, so to speak. And I really dive in deep into the meanings. So I'm not actually interpreting anything for my client or a person who calls on the radio show. They're doing an interpretation. I'm doing the coaching part of it, helping them reveal what those symbols mean, because the language of dreams is really symbolism. And then I take the dream, all the symbolism, the color, the theme, the characters, and relate that to one's waking life. So I take it even a step further. And one of the main dream coaching that comes across my way are dealing with a building of some sort, whether it's a house, an apartment complex, and there's usually an invasion going on. And normally when a person dreams of a building, like a house, apartment, so forth, it's a representation of them. And the breaking and entry is someone who is overstepping their boundary. So I really, break that down and ask them, well, what are the colors? What did the person look like? Is that something you associate with your mother, your father? So I really break it down and then cross it over to their waking life.
So you really, really personalize everything. It's not just one of those, this is my dictionary of symbols.
Yes. But I do strongly recommend people create dictionaries. I'm actually making up an e-course where I promote dream dictionaries, because a white flower in one culture means forgiveness and another means purity. So, and for you, it could resemble, or it could mean a childhood event. So I strongly encourage people to do the dream dictionary. It doesn't matter if the meaning changed, just write it down, write it down, write it down.
That makes sense. Now, I am one of those people who never remembers my dreams, ever. So what could I do, or what could someone like me do to start kind of getting in touch with everything that's going on at night while I'm asleep?
Oh, sure. Well, and these examples I'm going to give are so much fun because they're easy and simple, and I love it. It doesn't, get any better than that. One is the more you start entertaining the thought of remembering your dreams and just the dreaming world in general, it'll start to come to you more. It start to, little by little, or sometimes fast, you'll wake up and you start to remember. So one is to really just entertain the thought of remembering your dreams. Another way to do this is as you're going to sleep at night, you can state, tonight, when I'm dreaming, I will remember everything from the dream. And when I wake up, I can recall the dream. So it's like remember, but then recall everything. So it takes it a little step further. Another good way, and this one really is my favorite, is the physical part where you just have a notepad and a pen next to your bed. So for those people who are visual, you can just have it right there. So you already are setting in motion, like, okay, when I wake up, I'm going to write about this dream.
That's good, and I think that's really important. One thing that I'm going to ask you in just a minute is about lucid dreaming. And for a while, several years ago, I was really, really into that, and I really wanted to experience lucid dreaming. And I started keeping that notebook next to my bed, and the more I wrote down, the more I would remember. And there were some nights where I would remember 6 different dreams in quite vivid detail, and of course, stopped that again over the years, so I've lost touch with that again. But I think that's very, very effective.
Oh, yeah. And I really love the lucid dreaming because sometimes when we have dreams, it feels so real we don't know that we're dreaming, right?
Yes.
And then sometimes we have those dreams where we wake up in the dreams like, oh, wait, I'm dreaming, but wait, I can fly. So, yeah, those are some of the best dreams to have.
So do you also work with people to help them kind of become lucid within their dreams?
Yeah, sometimes people get scared, so they don't want to have those dreams. They like to just, be in the dream, but not necessarily take full control of the dream because some people feel, oh, if I fly and I realize I'm dreaming, will I fall?
Yeah, because I don't know how to fly, so of course.
Right. Because it's like, wait a minute, I don't know how to fly. I don't want people waking up in a cold sweat. But yes, some people do want to have that experience. Some people are afraid, so they worry. But yes, it definitely is a case-by-case basis.
Another thing that you talk about on your website is dream ceremonies, and that also sounded very interesting to me. Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. So dream ceremony really is a whole preparation for a dream, whether it's on a special night, say a full moon, where your intuition is really high, is at the peak of this power, or maybe it's during a solstice, like during the summer, or Yule time for winter. Basically, what you're doing is you are going to make the space sacred. And I say it's not so much where you sleep, but how you sleep. Because when I was writing my book, many a nights I fell asleep on the couch, surrounded by books, and still had the most vivid dreams. So where you're sleeping, you want to make sure that during the ceremony, you might have a lavender or essential oil or a smudge to clear the air. You might have a special dream pillow, whether it's an official dream pillow with the lavender herbs in there, or a pillow that you use just for dreaming. Maybe a person created their own dream pillow and patched it up with the moon and stars. So far, I actually have a YouTube video where I have my little dream pillow and has little magical looking stars on there. Or a special blanket. Before bed, you're going to have a bit of a ceremonial shower. So you might have, again, the essential oils going on while you take the shower. You're going to have the thought to cleanse away the negativity of the day, really cleanse your mind. So it's basically just really purifying the area to the best of your abilities and going to sleep with a clear mindset. And I also strongly recommend people to drink water. And every time I say it, they say, why would I drink water before bed? I'm going to go to the bathroom. No, you're going to drink it an hour before you go to bed. So that way you won't have the need, the urge to wake up and go to the restroom. But the reason why I strongly suggest water is because drinking water not only increases your intuition, but it increases the emotion to dream because the dreams are in your subconscious and your intuition, your emotions, all that is all wrapped up in the one that promotes dreaming.
That's interesting to know. So you talk about dreams as being a gateway to the subconscious and our divine guidance. What kinds of things can we learn about ourselves or about our lives through our dreams?
Oh, anything you want. From past lives to understanding relationships to understanding yourself. What I notice, what a lot of people tend to do is figure out what's going on with them or another person. And some people do work on past life, but a lot of people want to figure out what's going on right now. And I don't want people to get too caught up in worrying about other people, for example, I don't know how he's feeling or how she's feeling when he's trying to relate to me, all that stuff. It can get really confusing, and you don't want another person running around in your dreams all the time. So I actually recommend people to talk to their angel, open up that line of communication. But far as figuring out what's going on with them, the dreams are really helpful because there are a lot of people who, like myself, at one point were not fully conscious, fully aware. So if you have the opportunity to dive into your dream, your subconscious, because in our cells are the memory from our past lives and everything we can ever possibly want to know. So it's basically just opening that up to interpretation.
Interesting. And do you think that getting in touch with our dreams could help us, perhaps for women in business, could help us, I don't know, be more successful in some way in our businesses?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. There are spirit guides or dream guides that we have that can help us in our dreams. And I personally have experienced this in my dreams where I had doubts or didn't know what to do next. And I literally just went to sleep, dreamt about it. But it sometimes it takes a couple of days. I also want to say that too. Sometimes you might get that message right there. Sometimes it may take a couple of days, and then you'll receive a message. But yes, it really helps women in business because it provides a different perspective when you're thinking about what to do next. Because don't want to be too hasty, or you don't want to rush sometimes in making a decision. And like I was saying earlier, sometimes you don't have that perspective, and the dreaming with your dream guides and so forth will give you that different perspective. And once you're able to understand the symbolism that's presented to you, because dreams can be really complicated at times. I mean, in some dreams, I was speaking Russian and Spanish, and
Wow.
I know very little Spanish, no Russian. But when I think about it, going back and interpreting it, it's working across cultures and figuring out how to connect with people and speaking in a person's language, how to best relay your message to them. So yeah, it's very, very helpful for women in business.
I think that's such a great example you just gave, because the subconscious, of course, speaks to us in images and symbols rather than just kind of saying it straight out. So it does take a little bit of interpretation.
Oh, yeah.
So what would you say are your top tips for how to use dreams to be more successful in our business?
Oh, yeah. To use dreams to be more successful in your business, I would definitely say to go to sleep with a question in your mind. So every night, go to sleep with a question. How can I improve this? How should I go about that? And just focus on that question. And if you want to do a dream ceremony, you can definitely do that. You don't always have to do a dream ceremony, but you can write it down on a little note, put the note underneath your pillow, and you can get a amethyst that helps with dream time, amethyst, a crystal, or a clear quartz, place it somewhere next to your bed, and ask your subconscious questions. Always do that. Another way to help your for you to use business dreams to help your business is to go into the dream. So literally as you go to sleep, think about connecting with your dream guide, connecting with your subconscious, and being open to a response. So the first one was a specific response, a specific question. The next one would be to have it open-ended, because sometimes we don't know what question to ask. It's sort of like in a doctor's office. You go in there and they tell you, oh, yeah, this, and you go home 2 days later, you're thinking, oh, I should have asked that question. So, the second tip is really to leave it open-ended, connect with your dream guides. And who are your dream guides? They're just spiritual guides there to help you along your dream time state. And that's what they love to do. That's what it's all about. Another tip for business is to create, this is kind of new. Well, it's not new, but it's a little twist. It's a dream board, but specifically for dreams. So you can put all your business stuff down there, but decorate it in your dreams. Or not in your dreams, or you can do this in your dreams. You can have the thought to do it in your dreams, but what I meant to say was to do it before you go to sleep. So that way you can look at your dream board about your business and then go to sleep.
Oh, I like that idea.
So it's the visual. So I have different tips for the visual person, the person who physically needs to do it, and then the imaginative person. So those are the 3 really cool tips.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. Now, a couple things. One thing that you've mentioned a few times today is your book. Could you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes, my book. I'm just laughing because it's more of a relief laugh. It took me over a year to write. This is also a direct result from the death of my grandparents. I was meditating, and after I got the notion I just heard about a sanctuary spa. It came to me afterwards. I'm gonna say maybe about a few months after, or maybe up to a year afterwards, I heard that I had to write a book about goddesses, and I thought that was absolutely crazy. Everyone's talking about angels right now. I should be doing something about angels. So I kind of left it alone, and I came back, and I ended up writing, and now it is here. And basically, the book, I wrote it in 3 parts. And I did this because I really wanted to explain the goddesses, the meaning of goddess, like the root of the goddess. And I wanted to introduce the people to the 13 goddesses I was working with during the creation of the book. I wanted to basically paint a picture, tell a story in the first part of the book, and introduce, like I was saying, the goddesses who helped me along the creation of the book. I learned everything that's in that book. Well, of course, from other authors, books I read, but I was receiving channel messages as well. Part 2 is really solely about the reader. And part 2, I broke it down so that it touches very specific areas in a woman's life. Because growing up, I was fortunate enough to be around women who wanted to promote each other, help out each other. However, when I went into the quote unquote real world, working wise, and saw that some women have certain issues, and it's not necessarily that they're mean or cruel. Some people can be angry, but it's something to do inside, and they project it outwards. And it could be as simple as the older woman working on a job who's threatened by the younger woman. Well, in my book, I talk about how women can help each other. An older woman can be a wiser woman, and the younger woman has a lot to learn. And I relate this to the triple moon goddess, which is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So the younger woman who's growing is the maiden. The mother is more experienced. She can be the mother. And the crone is the older woman who's wiser. And so I also talk about in the middle of in part 2 to celebrate things that are important, but some people, especially women, tend to flag off, for example, their birthday. Because as women, we tend to put a lot of things and people before us. You're like, oh, it's my birthday. No, that is so important. So I call it your feast day. And there are other specific types that I dress, like dressing and speaking like a goddess. And I have lots of awesome quotes from great women like Princess Diana. And I just really love part 2. I mean, there's a whole chapter dedicated. It's called Barn, and it's boundaries, alliances. Wow, R just slipped me, and networking. I will have to pull that up. But yeah, basically, I just describe how there's different people for different things, or resentment. And I basically prepare the women who aren't familiar with it, like I wasn't, with resentment. And there are 3, as I write, key words that women earn names, and how to deal with that. And part 3, really, again, it's about a new chapter in a woman's life. So there's definitely a progression. So the women are basically going to make a profile. By the time they're done the book, they have their goddess profile. And part 3 is the goddess you will continue to be. And I actually have a before and after picture of myself. Before, when I really wasn't confident. I mean, I used to wear big sweaters. I would hide behind my glasses. For years, people told me, you should wear contact lenses, go out. Not saying that people who wear glasses hide behind it, but for me, I didn't want people to see me. I used to get big glasses. I mean, I love my glasses. They were nice, but I didn't. I just looked at that as a cover.
Yeah.
And I was terrified to wear contacts until one day my glasses broke, like right in half. I had no choice. and and I am really, really nearsighted. So there's a before and after picture of me, and you can definitely see the transformation from when I was not confident, shy, doubtful, to I'm wearing contacts and my hair color is different. So yeah, that's what people, and I do say that guys can just change, God is the guy, and most of the material still apply, but I really wanted to focus on the women aspect. I'm a woman, I get it. and business wise, I really wanted this to be a tool that people can use over and over and over again.
Oh, I like that. So what is the title of your book?
Yes, the title is To Be Goddess. Every woman is a goddess. Discover your domain in which you reign supreme. And I got that title because I really wanted women to own what they do. Not good, but like great, well, awesome, beyond belief. Because I feel like if women can claim their domain, which is if you're a chef, be the best chef ever. If you're a stay-at-home mom, be the best stay-at-home mom ever. If you're a doctor, it doesn't matter. Just be the best at it, claim it. And by the way, you can have more than one domain. So if you're a great cook and you're a doctor, claim it. But also don't forget to give it back. Don't forget to teach and to help people. So that's where that comes from. Discovering your domain in which you reign supreme.
Oh, I really, really like that.
Thank you.
Because I do social media work with heart-centered women and heart-centered businesses, and I think one of the first things that I do in my social media course is I look at who are you and what makes you unique and what makes you different. And so many people struggle with that. And I've actually had women say to me, there's nothing unique about me. I'm just, me. And I just feel awful when I hear that, because we are, each and every one of us is so different and so unique, and we have so many different ways in which we help people and work with our clients, and we're each very different, and it's just such a struggle for so many people to get clear on what it is that makes them different and what makes them stand out from everyone else.
Oh yes, most definitely. And this is why I just really love part 2. And I hope that a lot of people will love, especially part 2 as well. And some of the other chapters are embracing your purpose. When you said people were trying to figure out, I'm not unique or special. Yeah, of course you are. And by the way, here are some ways that you are. So I literally ask people questions and show them that, you are special. So some of the chapters are embracing your purpose, igniting your elements, setting your goals, all that greatness that really just develops a woman's profile.
I like that. Another thing that you've mentioned a couple of times is your radio show. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, my radio show. I love to talk about holistic topics. So my radio show it airs on Friday on Blog Talk Radio. And it's the Violet Sanctuary Spa. Everything is the Violet Sanctuary Spa or Tia Violet. So,
okay.
So my radio show, I talk about different topics. I have guests on my show. I talk about dreaming or angel therapy, discovering the root of your problems, all that good. And I really have it as a free flow, open-ended conversation. And I also incorporate meditations when I can, or readings, the free readings, and the chat rooms. I love the chat room. People get in there and they talk and ask questions, because sometimes people like to remain anonymous. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we can't pick up on people's voices, like, oh, that's Joe. So the chat room really provides people a chance to be open and keep their privacy at the same time.
I like that. So, Tia, do you have any women business mentors, or are there any women in business who inspire you?
Yes, I actually wrote a blog not too long ago about women who inspire me, and I had to definitely give crazy kudos to Colette Baron-Reid, because she wrote a book, Messages from Spirit, and her book was the first book I read right after my grandparents passed away. When I was trying to find answers, I went onto Hay House website because my grandmother and I used to watch a show called Montel Williams. And on there, Sylvia Brown used to be a psychic on Wednesdays. So I figured, let me go on Hay House, look up someone. And as soon as I opened up the Hay House website, Colette Baron-Reid popped up. And I took it as a sign. I read her book, loved it. Another woman would be Doreen Virtue. Reading her books really triggered a lot of memories. It really put everything together for me, meaning understanding my purpose. And she has this book called Earth Angels, and people are in different Earth Angel realms. So I discovered I was a mystic angel. I'm a mystic angel. All that greatness. So those are two women that definitely stick out. And a third one I had to say would definitely be Leonie Dawson.
Oh, yes.
I just adore her. I mean,
me too.
awesome. Just awesome. So those are three women that who I highly look up to, without a doubt.
Fantastic. Thank you for those. Mm-hmm. So, Tia, is there anything else you'd like to share with us today?
Trying to think. Well, on my Facebook page, I do daily oracle readings. They're fun for me to do. People just adore them. I use different oracle cards from Colette Baron-Reid, Doreen Virtue. The Facebook page is facebook.com/The Violet Sanctuary Spa. And yeah, it's a really cool way for me to connect with people daily. Like I said, there are free oracle readings every day. So you can definitely, chat there. My radio show is available as a podcast on iTunes. And again, it's The Violet Sanctuary Spa. That way you can listen to all that good information. And Colette Baron-Reid was on my show one time, so I was just floored to have her there. So you can definitely download the podcast and listen to them. That's one of my favorite things, to really get the message out there.
Where else can people find you online?
They can find me besides Facebook, on YouTube. You can just type in Tia Violet. I do monthly oracle card readings there and different video meditations there. I have one for the heart chakra and the root chakra there. So YouTube. I'm on Twitter. It's at THE_VSS. Again, my website is violetsanctuaryspa.com. I think that covers all the goodies there.
Perfect.
My blog, thevioletsanctuaryspa.blogspot.com. And my book is available on Kindle right now via Amazon. I'm in the works of getting on Nook and having it print to order. So that should be available pretty soon. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I guess that's about it for now. So thank you very, very much for being a guest here. I absolutely loved speaking with you, and I loved all of the juicy information that you shared with us about dreams and how we can really learn from our dreams.
Oh, thank you so much, Holly. This has really been a wonderful experience. The energy is just awesome.
Oh, good.
Thank you for asking me to do this. I really enjoyed myself.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. And thank you for listening. And remember to visit sociallyholistic.com/SHP24 for the show notes on this episode. Thank you. If you're worried that your webpage copy isn't quite as clear and powerful as you'd like it to be, Tanya from Crystal Clarity Copywriting has a free gift for you. Make Your Webpage Crystal Clear is a carefully chosen collection of 12 simple, easy-to-implement tips. Each tip is designed to stop you making some of the most common mistakes that drive readers away from your website. Get the Make Your Webpage Crystal Clear guide completely free today by going to bit.ly/clearwebpage. That's bity.com/clearwebpage. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to the Socially Holistic Podcast with your host, Holly Wharton. Please help us help more women in business by giving us a 5-star review of this podcast. The more women who find out about this podcast, the more successful businesses there will be. So please leave a 5-star review today over at iTunes. Thank you.